Since there's a delay, that's probably going to be on the chat now. Oh, it started. It started with powering off. Hello, everyone. I am Josh, the Amazing Animator, the boss of Science Wizard Comics, and I am coming to you once again this Thursday evening with the Anti-Cheesecake Challenge. For any of you that don't know, if you're joining me, it is basically just a stream where artists can come on and work on their art submissions for the Help Becky Smash art contest. And what that contest is you get to draw Becky. What does Becky look like? Why does she need help smashing? If you're familiar with the pitch for that story, which I did put on the previous Anti-Cheesecake Challenge, and I will add it to the description now that I think about it, so that people can get a better idea of it that are just coming in to watch as well. But the story is that there's these two multiverse traveling mercenaries, twin sisters, Betty, the attractive one, and Becky, the ugly one. And they are searching the multiverse looking for a boyfriend for Becky. And they've been doing so for quite a few years at this point and not having so much luck with it because Becky is just so not smashable by 99.99% of the residents of the multiverse so far as they've been able to discover at this point. You'll notice that all I have right now on the screen is just our lovely logo, our Science Wizard Comics logo by Nod Cybot. I don't have any artists on the stream just yet. We'll see if any show up. If not, then, it'll be a much shorter stream and you'll just hear from me a little bit of shilling for the various wares that we have for Science Wizard Comics. And we do have a few things. We do have a few things to offer people. One of the things, and this is something that I am doing right now with Mr. Marvel. You may all know him. He is the amazing creator of Juan Poole, Journey of the Juan, the first comic that's going to be published through Science Wizard Comics. And he and I are doing some commissions right now. We are doing these fantastic, and let me just pull this up so I could share it with you. We are doing these fantastic trainerifications. So, we're taking people, whoever wants to commission us, we're going to turn them into Pokemon style trainers. And we have a few different fun options available as well. So for $25, you can get just, yourself turned into a trainer or one of your characters too, if you wanted to go that route. We had Pope Fire. She got a trainer done from us. And of course, she's doing like her sort of persona that she does, the Pope Fire persona. So yeah, we've got the trainer alone, which is $25. You can get a trainer and your Pokemon of choice from any generation for $30. So that's probably the best deal, I would say. An extra $5 and you get, a whole additional, character essentially. I mean, some of the Pokemon are gigantic. I just did one for my girlfriend that was Onyx, and he's a big boy. He's a big boy. He took a little extra time. So for $5 extra, that's a pretty sweet deal. And then of course we've got custom Pokemon that we can do. If you just want us to create a custom Pokemon for you, we can do that. That'll be $25. Basically the same as the trainer. And then trainer plus the custom Pokemon. That's $50 because you're getting 2 custom characters. So it takes a little extra time, takes a little extra effort, going to be a little extra money, but it's worth it. Pope Fire got the trainer and custom Pokemon, and oh boy, the results were fantastic. I can't say anything bad about that. So I just want to real quickly welcome a couple people to the chat. Thank you for joining me. Cider Hype, how you doing, buddy? I know you're working on some comic book stuff on your own. The Pocket Mansters is what I'm talking about. The Science Wizard commissions that I am doing as a joint venture with Mr. Marvel. Unbeatable prices, fantastic quality. It doesn't get much better than that. And welcome also Captain Fuckhead. Thank you for destroying my ability to monetize in the future. Just saying hello to you. It's like an instant yellow. I mean, I don't know if I have to worry about that for a while. I mean, we're just getting started on this channel. But as per your question, Captain, there is nothing wrong with cheesecake. Cheesecake is fantastic in all of its forms. But this anti-cheesecake challenge is, you know, it's not that we're against cheesecake. Definitely not. Definitely not the case. But what we are doing is we are drawing a character who you can't really argue very well as cheesecake material. And that's, of course, my character Becky from my upcoming graphic novel, Help Becky Smash. But yeah, just I got a fun example here of some of the Pokemon that I've done so far with Mr. Marvel for our Pokemon, commissions, our Pokemon style commissions. We got a bunch of cool ones that I didn't even know about, like this guy here, Luxray, and this like weird pigeon cloud one. And this tree guy. The tree guy is cool. Trevenant. I like him. He was cool to draw. But yeah, no, he's. I mean, come on. I mean, look at these things. They're beautiful. Yeah, beautiful stuff. If you guys want some Pokemon commissions, then there you go. What more could you want? I mean, we got Mr. Marvel did me as well. Got me here with my trusty Magikarp. Can't go wrong with that because Magikarp is unstoppable. So yeah, so there's one of the things that we got going on with Science Wizard Comics. The other thing that we got currently going on is we just recently launched a TeePublic store. And we got some really cool stuff, primarily to do with our comics. Well, I mean, 100% to do with our comics and our company that we're building with Science Wizard Comics. We got the 3 different logo varieties. We got the orb, we got the crystal ball with the electrodes, and we've got the standard letters. We've got title t-shirts for all of the titles that we have upcoming or current with Science Wizard Comics. We've got Wampool, of course, which is there's only 2 days left of the Indiegogo campaign. So there's only 2 days left until we're shutting down the Indiegogo store. So if you haven't got Wampool yet, make sure to go back it. And then we've got Pineapple Pizza Man, another upcoming title, and Help Becky Smash and Last Call, which are 2 titles that are going to be released simultaneously. And then, of course, we've also got this awesome Wampool Journey of the Juan poster. And that is, I drew that one. I colored that one. That was just like a little fun thank you I wanted to do for Troy. Yeah, I thought it was, well done enough that we could turn it into a poster and offer that up to people. So, you can get it really big, really small. You have it available at print sizes. You can get it on canvas if you wanted to. I don't know how that works, but one of these days I'm going to have to get something like that because that sounds pretty cool. But yeah, you got the poster there, a bunch of different t-shirts. So if you want to help support the building, the creation, the proliferation of a brand new indie comic book company who wants to make some fun stuff, this is a great way to do it. Do that, do our Pokemon commissions, whatever you want. We still don't have any artists yet coming on So, you know, we'll I'll just keep going for a little bit. If anybody wants to say something in the chat for me to shill for you, I could do that too. I don't know. Maybe someone will stumble upon it and say like, "Hey, I want that thing that they're talking about." So every little bit counts, even at these low levels where we're just starting off a new channel. But yeah, I mean, we got some fun stuff, man. We got some fun stuff. I know people are going to have a really great time with Help Becky Smash and Last Call. It's such a fun idea. You know, we've been working on this since I want to say either October or September. But we got together with a group of people. We started brainstorming. I came up with this multiverse hub, essentially. We call it the Nexus Station. And that's NEXSYS. Yeah, that's where Last Call and Help Becky Smash start off. Is you know, this place is already well established. It's a flourishing, thriving community of multiverse traveling mercenaries and the various people that run the station on top of that. So it's really fun. And then Help Becky Smash and Last Call, this is essentially like two origin stories of these two different teams, but they kind of intersect. Their origins intersect in the same plot line. So when you get Help Becky Smash, you're getting the full story of Help Becky Smash, but you're getting it entirely from their perspective. And then if you read Last Call, you're getting the opposite side of that plot line from their perspective. So it's going to be really fun. It's a really interesting experiment where we're really thinking about what we're going to do with like the actual marketing and the actual product for the Indiegogo when we get to that point. We're not quite there yet, but right now I'm just, since we're still kind of like getting into the reveal of these things, you know, I'm like, well, you know, before I reveal Becky, why don't we have a fun little contest about it? And that's why I decided to do this, you know. So I want to get as many people I can onto the stream so they can kind of draw their submissions live, and you know, we have that kind of interactive sort of thing. So if you know some artists, send them my way. Let them know I'm doing this. Let them know there's a fantastic prize for whoever wins. Right now, we've only got 3 entries into the contest. So that's like a 30% chance of winning, 33.3% or something like that. But a 33% chance of winning. I mean, those are pretty damn good odds for those guys. So and I don't skip on the prizes. I give good prize. You know what I mean? So let's see. Captain Cap of F Head. Cap of F Head. I like that. It's fine. I don't want to cause any issues. Just going to share this on Twitter. Thank you for sharing. Nailed it. It looks great. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did that based off of the Captain America, the First Avenger poster. Oh, it sounds like we finally got a guest. Hello.
Yo, yo.
Hey, who's this?
Cold Peace.
Cold Peace. Where do I know you from, friend?
I don't know. Where do you know me from?
Well, what group chat did you get this off of?
You don't know? Really?
Well, I sent it to a few different ones.
CG Delta.
Okay, there we go. So what brings you onto the Anti-Cheesecake Challenge stream?
Well, you need some artists to draw, right?
Indeed I do. Indeed I do. And do you know what we're drawing?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I'm not drawing because obviously I can't enter into my own contest, and if I drew Becky, then that would kind of give it away.
Sure would, but you can go ahead and do it if you want.
Oh, no, I won't be doing that. I've got some other stuff to work on. Like I was mentioning earlier on in the streams while I was waiting for some folks to show up, I'm doing some commissions with Mr. Marvel right now.
Yeah, I know which ones. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pokemon stuff. So yeah, we're if anything, I'll be working on those.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
There we go.
If I could ever find my man, I don't know where it went. I'm looking for
So
my
Cold Piece.
stylus.
Mm.
Yeah, what's up?
So Cold Piece, what do you have any projects that you're working on currently?
I have a excuse me, a upcoming graphic novel. I did the script for it, and the art will be by Canales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
It's called Johnny's Law.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one around.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Gun Fu, Wrath and Revenge.
Yeah, not up yet though, eh?
No, not yet. He's in the middle of finishing Ironsides 2, so just waiting on him. But you know, anything that's good is worth the wait. So
right on. Yeah, no, I love Canales. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah,
So,
great guy, awesome artist.
What is your comic about, and when abouts do you plan on launching it?
Well, give me 1 second.
Sure thing. Take your time.
So it's basically the world's most elite assassin who is manipulated into killing a kid, and he refuses to do so, and that pretty much, you know, does not bode well for him. And so what ends up happening is he has to now protect the kid, and he does so in a small, deadly Texas town.
So he doesn't kill the kid, though, right?
No.
Okay.
And there's a reason that he doesn't. There's a reason that he won't kill a kid, and there's a reason why he doesn't kill that kid. So you have to read it to find out.
Right on. Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully folks that are hanging out here will definitely check it out. I will definitely check it out. I can't promise that I'll be able to back it just because of my current situation, of course. I think it's pretty well known in general. But yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, that's what I have my own situations too. I've backed some books, but I can't back everything I want to because, you know.
Oh, yeah. I definitely know. I definitely know. It's been tough. It's been tough, man. The yeah, everything tends to happen all at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And like you'll have these long periods where like nothing's happening, everything's smooth sailing, and then all of a sudden it's just like an avalanche of shit. Everything happens all at once.
Right when you want to do something, it's when everything goes bad. And,
oh, 100%.
Yep.
So, are you gonna have something on screen for us?
Yeah, I am. I was trying to find my stylus. I don't know where it just disappeared to. Because I was setting up my board, but I have to have the stylus to draw on, and I don't see it anywhere for some reason.
Oh shit!
I'll look. I'm gonna look here for a second, but I'm gonna mute myself until I find it. So
no worries, I'll do that.
All right.
Let's see. How do I mute? There it is. All right. So I imagine he'll send me a message so I know when he's ready to go again. I'll just keep it muted and in case he's bumbling around looking for his thing. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Anybody else coming into the chat since we got started here? Let me just take a look. Look at our numbers. Our numbers 2. Okay, it's still just you guys. That's okay though. But how are you guys doing? Cider Hype, I know you got a project. How's that going? In the meantime, I'm just kind of working on my stuff. Yeah, hope I'm not spending too much time not saying anything. I don't want this to get boring, but yeah, unfortunately, the stuff I'm working on right now, it's all on my iPad, and I don't have a camera set up or anything for that, so I could show it. So it's all kind of you know off screen. But I will go back to me so I could show you a couple examples. Let me show you some fun stuff here. Some fun stuff. Because I'm having a blast doing these Pokemon commissions. I got to tell you, they're a lot of fun. The Pokemon, man. Who'd have thunk? Who would have thunk? I think I got it. There we go. So there's me with the Magikarp. I didn't have the Magikarp initially. Originally, I had it just as me, but it felt so naked without the my Pokemon of choice. And yes, I am a Magikarp guy. There's no better Pokemon. I'll fight you. I will fight you on that. Here's one I did for Guardian Angel. It's got he's the one that wanted the pigeon cloud thing. Plus, he's got like the halo that he wanted on there. I just have him like holding it above his head, but yeah. I thought that was pretty good having the cloud pigeon, because it fits the whole Halo Angel kind of thing that he's got going on there. Interesting theme. I did that one. Let's see. We got this guy here. He's got the moist guy. He's got moist on his hat, which I like. That's always fun. That's a good word. That's a word that's not used enough, is moist. And that was Trevenant. That was the first one. That was the first Pokemon I got to draw. It was Trevenant, which I'd never even heard of this Pokemon until he decided that this was the one he wanted for his commission. So that was fun. And then, of course, we had our girl Nerd Wanda with a Luxray, which is this crazy rainbow cat thing. It's fun, though. We got this lady here. It was like her name was Tay, I believe it was, and she's got that weird seal Pokemon that I forget the name of. Primarina, I think it was Primarina. And I think the pigeon was like Alatria. Let me see, what was it? Altaria, something along those lines. What else we got? Of course, there's my man, Pineapple Pizza Man. That's the comic I will be drawing with Theron Kurth writing. It's not going to be for a little while, just because there's a few things we got to get in order. The first thing being me not being laid off. That's definitely a bit of a hindrance. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. Oh yeah, that was me dabbing for Super Harem. That was a bonus dab. Oh yeah, here's another one, Maeve from Changeling. Celtic Brett. His comic book that he's got going on with the Mythoverse, which they just got funded. So if you get a chance, check them out on Kickstarter, because they decided to go the Kickstarter route as opposed to Indiegogo. Hey, my girlfriend's here. Good thing I'm not showing off hers yet. Cap's back. Sorry, Rob Willis was giving me the lowdown on pens, and I almost went dyslexic, and I thought that pens was a different word. Oh, speaking of cool things, I showed you Nerd Wonder's thing. Matt Weldon of Punchline fame actually took Nerd Wonder's Pokemon design, and he did this fantastic sketch, which I absolutely love, of her and her Luxray. I just think this is the best. I'm telling you, man. Once we're done with all this, I'm gonna be really tempted to like take all these characters that we've Pokefied and do like a little story, like a little bonus comic or something like that out of it. I don't know, maybe something just for fun as a giveaway at conventions or something when I start going down that route. But hey, we got Slick just joined us. How you doing, Slick?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just hanging out, talking with people. Being pretty chill, showing off some of the commission stuff that we've been working on with the Pokemon deal. So that's been a lot of, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun. So what are you up to, Slick?
Just writing on some things and trying to fix stuff. I'll probably working on lettering a little bit later tonight, but
Yeah, my focus is all on the Pokemon stuff right now until I'm kind of out of the woodwork as far as the layoff situation goes.
yeah.
But you know, it's a lot of fun so far. So it's not.
How's that going? Are you looking for another job, or what are you doing?
Not looking for another job. No. Because I'm going to be back at my original job around July 8th. So,
So was it? Well, they just had. There wasn't enough work to do, or what? That was.
Yeah, basically. So it's just a it's a temporary layoff.
Who's a cold piece?
Cold Piece is an artist from another group called CG Delta who's going to join us, and he's going to draw us a lovely Becky for us today.
I was gonna draw you Betty, but I realized I didn't have that much skill. So.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Maybe I'll draw Betty. I don't know. I got another Pokemon commission, so I can't not work on that because that's paying the bills right now.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, we got a pretty big lineup so far. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3.
Are we live right now?
Yep. Yeah, we've done 12 of these trainification so far.
Nice.
13 actually, including the one that we haven't finished yet. But yeah, no, those have been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, nice. I have my cat standing on me currently.
Oh, good times, good times. You know, I really got to hand it to the Pokemon people. Like, the designs for the Pokemon are actually exceptionally easy to draw. Hard to master, but easy to, like, get a hang of, you know what I mean? Like, they're made up of, like, very simple shapes or very recognizable, like, very, like, simplified anatomy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really quite impressive how they're able to get that going. Like I remember seeing something at some point where somebody was oh, Cold Piece is almost ready, so I'll unmute him. Oh, how do I unmute him? Oh, I think he has to unmute himself, right?
Sure.
Oh yeah, he does have to unmute himself, and he just did, but I accidentally muted you again, so unmute yourself, Cold Piece. Where was I? Oh yeah. I think I remember seeing like some kind of interview or something with the Pokemon designers, and they were saying like they wanted to make it so that even though it would be hard to master the design, like the drawing of the Pokemon, like they'd be easy enough to like recognize and draw for even like children would be able to, you know, wrap their minds around the basic shapes of them.
Well, and they certainly did that.
Hell yeah. Cold Piece, are you still muted?
No.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
No, I can mute myself on my side, so that's why you didn't hear me when you unmuted me.
Okay, good. Also, we just got Duraken, who just joined the stream. Welcome, Duraken. Tell us a little bit about yourself, for those that don't know.
I am God. I am God. That is what is.
You're a god.
That's all you need to know.
Are you going to be drawing a beautiful Becky for us today?
Nah, I don't have anything to draw with, fortunately.
Oh, okay.
Also, I have my.
But I do hope you will join in on the contest.
I drew a Becky last week, so that was my entry.
Yes, indeed, and it was Gorgeous. Relatively speaking.
I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're doing, do you reckon?
No, I saw the link and I clicked the link.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
what's
this
going
is
on?
a art stream. This is an art stream for my drawing contest, my art contest for Help Becky Smash, which is my upcoming graphic novel that I'm working on with Troy Mr. Marvel Torres. It's about twin sisters, Betty and Becky, who are multiverse traveling mercenaries on a quest to find Becky, the ugly sister, a boyfriend, essentially. And I have yet to publicly reveal the design for what Becky looks like. So I'm having artists come onto the stream for the next 3 weeks, including this week, to draw their entries live for what they think Becky looks like. And the closest person is going to win a fabulous prize, which is also going to be a surprise. But it's going to be fantastic, so well worth putting an entry in, I think.
So you don't have a
So
description
you're all
or
sorry?
you don't have a description of her at all, or are you
No description. She's already fully designed. This is really just to see when somebody thinks of a woman who's so ugly that they can't find anybody in the multiverse to date her. What does that woman look like to you? It's a creative exercise essentially, and whoever is closest to the real design is going to win.
Ah, I see.
Captain says, Clip Studio tutorial. Excellent. I'm just waiting for a tablet to arrive tomorrow, and I'll get CSP Pro. Never used a tablet or CSP. Used to do AutoCAD and Corel Draw. Right on. Yeah, Captain there, he's he's doing like a 150-day art challenge or something like that. Trying to really push his skills and improve. So kudos to the captain. That's the way to do it. That's the kind of gusto that you need to get those big improvements. So I'm always supportive of that.
Yeah, just make sure
10,000
you're
hours.
focused on improving.
10,000 hours.
That's what they say. That is what they say. And considering my own experience, I think that's probably pretty damn true as well.
So every day, allot yourself 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah.
Good art training, and then observe. Use your eyes and get references, and then 2 hours every day or more if you have the latitude. But most people, unless you have a job doing it, don't. So yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see let's do the math on that just for fun.
Just for fun.
Shall we? So let me. I should have a damn calculator. Where's my calculator? This is what it's like to be old. So 10,000 divided by 2 hours. It's 2 hours a day, so that would be how many days you'll have. So that's 5,000 days divided by 365. Backwards. 365. That's 13.6, a little bit over 13 and a half years. So then you may want to draw a little bit more. So
yeah, that's a little bit. That's not happening.
Yeah,
it's already too late for me. I'm 43.
So how much was that? How much
to
was
help
that
you
again?
with that? It's actually not that bad. That number is actually the number for if you take all the skills that you could possibly master, and you look at all the masters of those skills, like the top 1% of the 1%. That's how long it takes to get to that level. To get a skill down competently, it actually takes only like 20 hours. So,
I mean, 20 hours to draw like Michelangelo?
No, he
or
said
to
that's
get
the upper echelon.
Oh, okay.
He said if you just want to be competent at it, it's 20 hours. But I would actually say it's a little more than that.
Yeah, art is a little bit more than that, but that's just like
Well,
an average.
I would say that there are those who have something. They have a particular talent for it that may overshadow, say, the normal person training their brain.
Right.
But there are a few people who just have it. It's like musicians. Some just have it. Others have to work at it a little bit, and then some just can't seem to do it at all. I've been trying to learn how to play guitar for over 25 years now, and I can plink around, but I'm never going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. And for a while there, I worked like 5 hours a day for like 2.5 years, and it didn't seem like I was getting anywhere. I just stuck. I just brain to finger thing didn't work.
Yeah,
I did get like calluses and stuff, and I could do other things, and I can do some chords, but I'm never going to be Django Reinhardt. I'm never going to be Andre Segovia. Just not. Okay. However, I did get better than what I was when I started.
Right.
I tried learning some ukulele a little while ago during the Christmas holiday with my girlfriend. We were kind of playing around with it, going back and forth, and going over some tutorial lessons on YouTube there, and we got all right. We could play a couple of little tunes slowly, but I've literally forgotten everything that I learned back then because I haven't touched it since.
Well, yeah, I mean things like I like simplified chords as opposed to like really complex chords, where as you watch people do like fingering and things like that. I'm talking about like playing guitar, but the same thing applies to I think to knowing how to crosshatch and how to do line weight and all this other stuff, and especially anatomy and proportions and foreshortening and then you're going from figure drawing to landscapes, and then putting those things together, and then knowing where your light sources are and all this other stuff. I mean, it's an endless kind of thing. And then you'll meet somebody say like, this is a story I've told before. Maybe some of you have heard me say it. Frank Frazetta did a film, about him. It was called Painting with Fire, or Creating with Fire. I can't remember what it was, but it was a documentary about him, and it had Ralph Bakshi, who is a pretty famous animator, like Cool World and that sort of thing. And then,
I grew up with Cool. I grew up with Cool World.
Right. So Bakshi said one time they were hanging out. He was hanging out with Frank when they were doing Fire and Ice, which was the film they did together back in early '80s.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying, he said, I need a rabbit, and I need a drawing a rabbit concept. And so Frank went in the other room. 15 minutes later, he comes back with this sketch of a rabbit. And then Bakshi said that if I had studied all my life the anatomy of rabbits, I could never have done a rabbit as good as Frank did. And then I asked Frank, what reference to use? And Frank said, I just made it up. And it was a rabbit jumping and looking behind it himself as if being chased by something in full motion. And he said it looked like the rabbit was coming off the page. And if I recall, I remember seeing the picture. I think they had it in the film if you ever want to go look it up. But, and that was Bakshi, a great artist, saying, Frank just had this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the masters are masters for a reason. I mean, what I want to know is like how much time did he put into things where he got to that point where he was at that level that like all other artists kind of look at him as like senpai. You know what I mean?
Well, strangely, he was going to be a professional baseball player. He did go to an art school there in I think he's from Brooklyn. But he was going to be do AAA baseball and hopefully go up to the majors, and he got hurt. And he said, I'll just keep on drawing, and fairly young he got right in, like drawing for Andy Cap and shit like that. And so that's how he got Little Abner and things like that. So,
Oh yeah.
And that was when he was young. We're talking like, I think late teens, early 20s. You know, he just had that thing. You know, you think about like Michelangelo. He did the Sistine Chapel as fast as he could because he thought painting was beneath him because he was a sculptor.
Right.
Which
I
is
didn't
a
know that.
little.
From my
Which is a-
experience, if you have talent, you're not actually going to turn out to be very good usually, because there's no challenge in doing it. A lot of people
Well,
just
sure.
do it for the challenge, and so what ends up happening is those people who have the ability to be the best end up not being the best usually.
Well, it's like I tell my kids,
Work at it, too.
hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So
Right, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying that Frank didn't have a work ethic, because he did. I mean, he was one of those voluminous creators that was, you know, drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing before he actually became professional. And they have pictures of like his first drawings, which weren't, you know, perfect, but you know, you could see it. You could see where he was. You know, we're talking like from 10 to like 15, 16, when he was younger. And then all of a sudden, you know, he got into art school, talked with some professionals. He was lucky to be there around Manhattan, where you could actually just kind of go down and talk to these guys. Back in the day, you could like go and hey, look at this, and they'd give you their feedback. That wouldn't happen today.
No. Well, I mean, they've made themselves into like the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that are now like professional artists, quote unquote, like they kind of like pride themselves on keeping everybody out and keeping this their kind of industry sequestered. And you know, when I was in animation school, you saw a lot of that same kind of attitude too. You know, they don't want anybody who they don't personally like to learn anything that they know. You know, they try to like hoard information as opposed to sharing it. And yeah, I always
sad.
it is sad. It is sad because, you know, if you teach someone something, they might be able to teach you something too. You know,
Right.
like you're essentially cutting yourself off of potential avenues for learning. As well, you know, because like some of the best people like I've ever known were also people that I was like very much competing against as well. You know, even with Mr. Marvel, right? Like me and him are working together on these commissions, but in a lot of ways, like we're also competing. We're always like, anytime he does something really cool, I'm like, god damn, like you really one-upped me on that one, you know. And then I want to do the next piece that I do. I want to do it even better to like wow him or get him to think like, oh man, now I got to step up my game, right? Like there's a couple of times where I drew something and Mr. Marvel was just like, oh my god, dude, that's so good. Oh man, I gotta work harder. I gotta show you, you know. And that's the kind of thing where I think like you really start to gain grounds as an artist, is when you have that like actual friendly competition, you know, where you're not really like enemies, you're rivals, you know, but you're doing so because it's gonna help both of you. You know, you're both gonna get better. And if you look at Mr. Marvel, like his art is constantly improving, and I think also that has to do with the method of his art, which is, you know, he's very he sees it almost like factory work. You know, finish one, get the next one out, pump it out, pump it out, pump it out, like, you know, just constantly moving forward. And that's something that really appeals to me too, because, you know, I've had so many times in my past where I would you know, not finish something, move on to the next thing, not finish that, you know, because or I'll get stuck on something because I don't want to move on, because I want to finish something, and I refuse to do anything else until I finish that. But because it has to be perfect, you know what I mean? that their perfectionism kind of prevents you from moving on too as well. Like you just got to get it to a point where it's done, where it's good enough a lot of the times, and move on to the next one. Do better the next time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand like that camaraderie of two artists. You know, like people who work on say, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Well, any sort of sports team where they get along and they can work to make each other better. That's a good thing. However, you know, like artists have, going back to Michelangelo, he and Leonardo da Vinci did not like each other at all. They were rivals. One Leonardo was older than he was, and like Michelangelo was kind of the upstart. And although Leonardo was more than just a painter, he was also very intelligent in other ways. He's kind of a balanced mind. Whereas I would consider Michelangelo a pure artist. You know, that's what he did. And they had different ways of looking at things. And when they were there in Florence, they'd fight amongst each, you know, they'd have words with each other, and disputes, and they'd call each other names, and you know, it's just one of those things. But that's happened in both in the art world and just about every other where you got rivalries going on, unless they're friends and they kind of push each other upwards and higher. Now I got two cats. Get the fuck out of here, cats.
That's how I feel about cats too.
No, I love my cats, but it's like if I fall asleep on the couch in the other room, I'll have 3 cats around me. For some reason, they just want to come and be around me when I'm sleeping on the couch. So when I come into my room, in my bed, and I'm doing something, they'll come in here sometimes and follow me in here, and then try to get up into my grill while I'm either typing or whatever I'm doing, which is a bit annoying.
I think that the other mentality that you talked about, like how people don't want to teach other people their skills, that's actually why we find ourselves in the position that we find ourselves in most industries in the world, is because all the mentors have just decided, nope, we're not going to actually be mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the exception of, say, like what's the name of that school that one of the what's the name of the school?
You talking about Joe Kubert?
Yeah, the Kubert School. With exceptions of those, and then I guess other art schools, you know, there's very little mentorship anymore. There's no studios. There are no group studios where you would go in and you would kind of prove your mettle by watching some of the masters, and they'd give you pointers. There's no apprenticeships anymore. You know, none of that exists. You know, you have to go to a school, and a lot of times the school is so set in their own particular way of doing things that it might stifle some of the creativity.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that happens all the time, but I have seen it in some art rooms where they and myself when I took a couple art classes.
today it's all just about you have to get good until someone will recognize you that you're good. It's like, but how do I get good if I don't know how to get good? Like,
and that's it.
You're missing the point.
And I would say in today's day and age, because of the nature of mass media and of the internet, I would say they can. There's enough people online that are telling you how to do things. You can go watch Bob Ross, for God's sakes, you know, and just watch him and let him teach you how to do landscapes and shit. I mean, there's that other guy that says I love drawing girls or whatever it is. He's got a bunch of things where he teaches you how to do the feminine form. There's another dude out there who does like anatomy. There's another one that does like animals and stuff. And these people spend time, and then you can kind of. I know that there's a lot of people say, well, do your own style. Well, no, you have to copy the masters before you come up with your own style. And then,
it's true that there are those people out there, but there is a point at which you just don't know where to go. No matter how good you are, you get to a point, and it's just with every subject that I've ever looked into doing, like I don't know the next place to go, and without a mentor, you just can't progress.
I mean, if you are at that kind of stage, like, you know, maybe, then you might need to, like, you know, maybe then some kind of schooling or something like that might be applicable. But you know, if the other thing too is like making contacts with like good people who can give you like tips and pointers and help you get out of those slumps. You know, that's one of the things that I've done. I really try to surround myself with with good, talented people, I want to help them however I can, and you know, inevitably, like they want to help me back. And it's been largely like that with you know, with Mr. Marvel as well. You know,
You don't want to stab him in the back.
100% no. No, I mean, like he's given me some very valuable pointers on you know, his method and how he works, and it's really helped me. And I have seen like some, you know, market improvements and gains in my ability to work much more quickly. And you know, that actually another thing, one of the things that actually has surprisingly helped me get faster at art too is working on the iPad. I love Procreate, especially for inking. It's a wonderful product. I have to really thank Troy for getting me into that, because it's been. I actually like enjoy inking pictures on Procreate so much that it's actually like no longer a chore. It's fun. It's legitimately 100% fun for me. I love it. But like back in the day when I was just working on nothing but Photoshop, like there's like I don't know what it is, but it's like everything's always jittery. No matter how smooth or how stable I think my hand is, like it's just always that some jitter to that line, and every line you got to fix in some capacity. So that,
Well,
you know,
that's actually good. It's the human errors that actually create art. It's not perfection.
Sometimes.
Well, no,
I personally, because I personally come from like an animation background, so I like to have those like nice, clean, crisp, smooth lines, you know. So if I have to go in for every single line and fix it, you know, with these tiny little issues that like they show up, they stand out, and there's like you just have to fix them. You know, like just having that little tiny bit of stabilization, like not even like a huge amount, just that little tiny bit that you get with Procreate, like as the standard, it helps so much that it's really kind of like turned me completely around on my like, and it's really kind of like improved my ability to work digitally much faster. So I use a bit of a combination of both Photoshop and Procreate for certain things. Like my Juan Pool poster that I did. That one was, here, I'll bring it up so people can see. This one right here, the Juan Pool Captain America poster, essentially. It's a parody poster that I did. And we have that for sale on Teespring as well. You can get a poster of that. It's got Juan Pool and a lot of the supporting characters that are going to show up in Journey of the Juan and beyond, potentially. But like, yeah, I took that one. Like, I did all the sketching and the inking in Procreate, and then I took it all into Photoshop, and then did the rest of the colors there. Because I think Photoshop is fantastic for doing like colors and painting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for inking, it's just not as good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like I'm with you that I like nice crisp lines, especially when I'm coloring. Like I go into a line, it's like, wow, I can see how messy this person is.
Right.
But at the same time, when you do that, you lose a little bit of the humanity in the drawing.
So you can sometimes. I don't know. It really depends on what kind of you're trying to do. Personally, is she doing the? Oh no! For a second there, I thought you were doing the "we can do it" pose.
Who, me?
Yeah, cold piece.
No, I'm doing something else. Hopefully it probably isn't the right design. Like it's not gonna be the right look, but to me it's funny, so I'm gonna make it anyway.
Hey, funny's good, man. That was largely what I did with the actual design for Becky. Was I was just like, oh, this is funny. What would make me laugh?
If you're looking at my screen share, that's the oldest picture that I have that I drew. That's the old Pokemon picture from with Charmander versus what's his name, Growlithe.
I think that's the upgrade of Growlithe, isn't it? Arcanine?
I don't remember. I think it's Growlithe though, because it's the lower evolution ones.
Was it the lower evolution? Oh, I can never remember. These things are so old. Generation 1. Yeah. Generation 1. That's ancient history.
Yeah, it's still the best. It's got the perfect number of Pokemon to catch.
It has the best Pokemon in it. Period. There is no better Pokemon that has ever come since Magikarp.
I like Gyarados more, but
No! Never allow him to evolve. Never! Never! I actually, one of my ex-girlfriends, because I'd never played, like, this was back in college. One of my exes was big into Pokemon, and I had never played one of the actual Pokemon games. I only ever watched, some TV show. And she was just like, oh my God, you got to play the game. And I was just like, oh, I've never had a Game Boy, so how could I? They were all on Game Boy. And so she actually lent me her Game Boy and her Pokemon game just so I could play it. So I played Pokemon Yellow, the one where like you could get all 3 of the starters, or like Pikachu. Or no, I think it automatically starts.
Pokemon Yellow, you can only get Pikachu, and it follows closer to the anime storyline.
Right. But yeah, I played that through, and I as soon as I could get Magikarps, I just filled my roster with Magikarps and just did all Magikarp.
That game made me mad because I always wanted, like, I looked at it, it's like, well, you can get Pikachu, and I'm like, but Gary gets Eevee. Eevee is awesome.
Yeah. No, I was just all for Magikarp. I was just like, I want to do it. It's like the joke character of the game, but I want to beat it with all Magikarp, so I did.
The problem with Pokemon is that if you played it once, you get all your collection, and then you go, here's another game, and it's like, I just collected all those Pokemon, and I'm really attached to my Pokemon, and now you want me to throw them all away and start a new game? Like, nah, I don't. I'm cool. I like my Pokemon.
They really should have had some method of like carrying your Pokemon from one game to the next. I really do. That I think that would have made things so much better.
There is a way, sorta, but there are generational limits to how much you can transfer them.
Right.
I don't know exactly which one. Like, you can transfer red to blue to yellow, and I think yellow to, like, all those go to gold and silver. But I'm not sure if after gold and silver you can get them to the next one. And there's, like, various gaps in there where you can't transfer them over anymore.
Yeah, well, I've only ever played the one. Maybe someday I'll pick up another one and check it out, but I was actually thinking of getting one of the ones for the DS, but like, because it's like a couple, it's like the previous generation of console and all that. I figured I could get it for cheap, but then I went into like a GameStop or whatever it is, and like looked at the DS Pokemon games, and they were full price still. Full price. It's a whole generation removed, and it's used. And they're charging full price. I'm like, what? And it was
probably most of them were probably like Fire Red and Leaf Green, which are the actual Generation one versions, just with updated.
I think it was Sun and Moon, or like Pearl and Black Pearl, or Black and White, or something like that.
Yeah, it's Black and White, Pearl and Diamond, and something else.
Yeah. But yeah, they were all full price. And I'm just like, I'm not paying full price for a used game from an entire generation console ago. Like, that's stupid. That's insanely stupid. Like, why do and you see this with like a lot of the Nintendo games in particular. Like, why do the Nintendo games specifically never drop in price? Like, ever.
I feel the same way about Assassin's Creed. I look at Assassin's Creed and they never go below $20. Like,
Yeah.
this is a
I don't know.
30-year-old game and you're still charging $20 for it. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. The way they price things just does not make any sense to me as a consumer whatsoever. It just does not make sense. I'm going to get back to the chat for a few seconds here, see if there's anything else. Captain says 100-day project. Oh, yeah, that's the thing he was talking about. It says eat, sleep, do, repeat. I used to coach youth football, soccer, and that's what I told my kids. Hard work beats talent all day long, and I agree with him there. Tutors at schools or universities are far from masters. I was constantly told I needed to do a thing better, but they had no idea how to help me get better. I had to find my own influences. And he's right there in a lot of ways. And one of the reasons, like, I was looking at, I was commenting on one of Andrew Huerta's posts, and Andrew was saying, like, there's no reason to go to school anymore when you've got, like, everything you could possibly learn art-wise, you could find on the internet, no problem. And I agreed with him. Well, I agreed with him, and I put forward, like, an anecdote about my own experience with school, where we had I had one teacher who he would never answer any questions, any troubleshooting questions at all. And this was in my third year in 3D. And he said, and his philosophy was basically like, you don't need me to answer any questions. Just use Google. That was his method of teaching, was just use Google. Got any questions? Just use Google. Need to troubleshoot something? Just use Google. You try to ask him a question, he'd just be like, just use Google.
You know philosophy, right? You know anything about philosophy and like ancient philosophy?
Not really, no. I mean,
Okay,
not like specifically.
The reason that Socrates was killed is because he went up to a bunch of artists and asked them, like, why they knew what they were doing and how they worked and everything like that. And he came away and is like, yeah, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And they killed him for that?
Yeah, pretty much. They came up with other bullshit excuses, but that was pretty much why he was killed. Basically, he was making a nuisance of himself, and especially to artists.
That actually doesn't really surprise me, because unfortunately, a lot of artists are very sensitive.
Yeah, 3,000 years later.
3,000 years later, not much has changed.
And I remember back in when I went to Art Institute of Pittsburgh, like every class that I was in, I was mainly the one that was giving information to other people, and the teacher just sat back and did nothing.
Yeah, I've been there, not in art class, but in woodshop. But I was also like in grade 12 and in a grade 9 class, because like you had to do like prerequisites. You know how it is, like where it's like
Yeah.
You know, you got to take one class before you can go to the next. And I was in like grade 12, and I really wanted to try woodshop, but they wouldn't let me go into the later woodshop. I had to start at the grade 9 one. And the grade 9 one was just so easy at that point, just because of purely because of like the maturity level, you know, that I basically, you know, like it was just like A pluses all around, like just insanely easy. And it's funny because like it really makes you realize just how much maturity is a major factor in learning. You know, like the people that I was in class with, like they were all grade 9s, and like it's crazy because it's like we're all in high school, but like there's such a stark difference between all of us, just based on the age and maturity. Like it was just insane. Like you never really think about these things.
That because I'm always more mature than the those around me, so I've never had the experience of going, these younger people who I've always seen as immature at this age, and they're still immature at my age. All
Well, no,
right.
that's the thing. That's the thing is it was kind of the opposite for me because I've always been like a bit of a goof, a bit of an immature guy for the most part. I like to have fun, but then I kind of that's kind of how I see myself too. Like I'm a bit immature or whatever. But then I go into a grade 9 classroom at grade 12, and I realize just like how much more mature I am to them at that point. It's just funny how like you just put yourself in a situation or like an area where you wouldn't normally be, and suddenly like you get like a whole new perspective on yourself, right?
Yeah. That's why I say it's not important to get out of the box. It's just important to look at it from a different angle.
I agree. That's a good line. I like that. I like that. Yeah, man.
Because what's outside the box? Just another box.
Just another box. We are in an infinite vacuum of boxes. As soon as you get out of one box, you're in another. You get out of that one, you're still in a box. The box is reality.
Yes. That is trapezoidal. No, it's toroidal.
So how's your Becky coming along here? What's your thought process for this one?
It's like your fourth drawing, Cold.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking to me. You didn't say my name.
Oh, sorry. I gotta learn to do that. I gotta remember that. Because I have it on your
Well, I have reference that I'm going off of, but the thing is that it's the pose, trying to get the pose down. You see some people, like you could see maybe Ellie Fernandez or any of these artists, Kanan White, and most of the time when you see them draw, especially like on stream, they've already been baking, and they have a lot of experience and that 10,000 hours and all that we're talking about, but they have that experience in their mind to see it and then draw it. They may make some adjustments, but generally it comes out how they think. I didn't have any real forethought at first what I was going to do. So I'm kind of having to go through different poses, and they probably have days like that sometimes too. So, that's pretty much what's going on.
I think
some
every
of that,
artist does.
That's actually some of that. What you're seeing is just the way that they're learning. Like I don't lay a lot of blue line and construction lines down when I used to draw. That's because I mainly learned with ink and pen. So I never had that choice. It's like, oh, you can either have a whole bunch of scribbles, figure out how to clean that up afterward, or you don't make those lines. So you just get used to that. So
yeah,
right on. Yeah. Oh, and you guys, if you do want to check out some cool stuff from Science Wizard Comics, we've got a TeePublic store available as well. Where we've got some title T-shirts for our 4 main series coming out in this next year or so, and then we've got some logo stuff, and then the Wampool poster that I made. So, yeah, check that out if you guys get a chance. Also, Captain in the chat, he says he watched a Jim Lee live stream the other day. And Jim Lee said, "I don't know anatomy. I just need to convince you that I do." I love that. We got some really good lines coming out of this stream. Some good sayings.
Jim Lee is evil.
Jim Lee is evil, you say?
Have you ever seen him like try to do one of those draw along things?
No.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, this is what you do, and he shows you something, and then it's like, oh yeah, I get where you're going, and then he just goes in a completely different direction. He's like, so how are you? Is your guys' coming out? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, that is not what you just told us to do. There was one, I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago, where he had the Wolverine one, and he had like all these different poses, and he just changed it mid-flow about what he was doing and changing everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Even people like him, they'll start off with something and they feel like, oh, that's ugly, and then they'll do something else,
Yeah, and everyone tried to follow him. It's like we don't know where you were going with that. Tried,
Yeah.
but
It can be hard to follow along with a master, but I want to try that someday. I've never actually done one of these draw along streams. Yeah, I'll have to try that sometime. Check out Jim Lee and see if I can pick up a few things off of him.
yeah, I don't know if he does it anymore because I stopped following much on Twitch, and so I don't just keep on looking at Twitch anymore.
Oh, I've never used Twitch. I could never get a handle on it. It's like they have like Twitch apps, but like none of the apps are able to do what you think that you should be able to do with them. So I just get all confused. I'm just like, well, I want to do this, but you allow me to do it on the browser, but not the app. So I can't make heads or tails of it half the time.
Stop asking so much of an app.
How dare I expect the app to work? How dare I expect user friendliness and comprehensive user interfaces?
Yeah, I don't get the obsession with using apps at all. It's like, especially on your computer or something like that. Like, why should I be using an app that has degraded functionality when I can just go on your browser and get all the functionality?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that makes no sense. Like, you have a personal program and you have degraded functionality. It's like,
Right.
the program should have increased functionality.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, if you're going to have an app for something, you better make sure that your app is far superior and has even more functionality than the actual, like, browser.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give people less. That's insane.
Well, that's how they work. And the sad thing is, I know most of those apps cost at least $10,000 to make. Like, they charge $10,000 to make them, and it doesn't take all that long to make them. Some of them are like just an afternoon of work.
Mm-hmm. Where was I? There we are. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Oh, I like me some Becky. I'm always afraid that I'm going to accidentally like show what Becky looks like without thinking about the contest first. But yeah, as soon as the contest is over, I'm going to reveal what Becky looks like, and I might actually have people vote on which one's closest. I don't know. What do you think would be better? Do you think I should just like pick myself, or should I have like the people vote on which one looks like the real Becky?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the people would be less biased, I guess. I don't know how to say it.
Maybe. Hard to say. I need to go turn the light on. It's like getting dark. I'll be right back.
Why does your Becky have a fro?
That's not a fro.
It's a fro.
No, it's not.
So I gotta ask, if you guys were gonna get a Pokemon trainerification done, what would be your Pokemon of choice?
I don't like Pokemon.
I have no idea, man.
Yeah. It would be a Gyarados or
something cool.
Something cool. Well, that narrows it down.
Something sleek, something sexy, something cool.
You know,
sexy Pokemon. Okay, I think there's a couple out there. Probably go with a low punny for slick.
I have no idea what that is.
I'll show you.
There's a Greninja, which most people probably like. And then there's that flower-based Pokemon that everyone thinks is female.
Gardevoir.
Yeah.
So this here's the low punny.
I don't like the color scheme.
No? All right.
Looks like chocolate and vanilla something. I don't know.
I thought it looked different than that. I don't know. Which one's is that the official one? I think so. Then there's the other one, Gardevoir, I believe. Yeah, see, what about that one? Slick. That's feminine, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, show them the
There's a reason I think I didn't get into Pokemon.
the humanoid version of Gardevoir, I guess you would call them.
Isn't that it?
Well, no, the more humanized versions. I think that there's one on the right.
On the right. Oh, you mean like that? Where they just like make it human.
It's closer to that.
I don't know. I don't like the green. No green.
Gardevoir is canonically male, but they keep on making him female.
Weird. Why don't any of these they have an evolution to them, right?
I don't know. Let me check.
Well, but I mean, like all Pokemons have an evolution, right?
Not all of them, but
Gardevoir is the evolution.
Oh,
yeah. So that's the second one.
okay.
And
that's supposed to be male.
yeah,
I guess so.
Japanese are weird.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
Why don't they have like an evolution into a kaiju, and they have kaiju matches? That would be awesome.
I do love kaiju. Any of you guys going to go see Godzilla King of the Monsters?
Yeah, my kids keep asking me about it.
I'm so excited for that.
I have to wait till I can pirate it.
That's too bad. I'm definitely gonna go see it. I'm hoping to see it with my girlfriend because she's gonna be coming. Is it next month? I think it'll still be theaters.
If this one was red and black, I could dig with it. That would be cool. So I'd change. See, okay, you see that one down there? You see the tile down there? No, go down to the second. Go down. There are
some kaiju-esque Pokemon.
Calm down. Right, you almost had it. Okay, go up one level. Go to your left. A little bit. One more, 2 more, 3 more.
Hey.
This one?
That one right there. No, back.
No.
Back. No, not that. The one right next to the one you clicked on.
This one.
That one.
Oh. It's
right.
Just like
then you change the body to red, the ends to black, and then the eyes to yellow, and I'd be down with it.
Okay. All right. We could have it be like a shiny version.
That's right. It'd be like if you can change the colors on them, then I'm down with it. You can't change the colors, then no.
They have what's called shiny versions, where they have like alternative color palettes. And that's you could probably pick pretty much any color palette you want for the shinies. So
what are the powers of this particular animal?
Honestly, I have no godly idea.
Although Puny is tragically normal.
Okay, so it's like a fighting type, like
yeah, it's a fighting normal type.
Punch kick.
So it has no powers.
No,
is this the evolved form or is this the unevolved form?
I think this is the evolved form.
That's a Megalopuny, and since it's
that's the evolved.
That's probably fan made.
Oh yeah, it is. Most of these are.
Well, I mean the idea, Megalopuny. The megas are only there's only like 10, 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So how many Pokemon are there in the world? How many do they have?
Good question. Let's find out.
There's like 700
Pokemon. Are there?
They haven't reached 1,000 yet.
Still not, eh? I'm surprised they haven't.
You know when someone doesn't like Pokemon when they call them Pokemon.
Pokemon. Let's see. So Sword and Shield hasn't come out yet, has it?
I don't think so.
Okay, so not counting the new one, they have 809. I wonder what they're gonna do when they hit 1,000.
And Jimmy, the reason they're called Pokemon is because it means pocket monster.
Yeah, it's just a mashup of the two words.
Pocket demons, or whatever you want to call them.
And the reason there are 2 games per generation is because they actually take place in different universes.
They don't look like monsters, though. It'd be so much cooler if they were like Warhammer monsters. That would be bitching. Pocket Wormhammer monsters.
You could read some of their descriptions.
Pocket Warhammer.
See, I would play that game. Pocket Warhammer monsters. Warhammer Go. Hell yeah.
There's a Pokemon called, I think, Diffloon, and its description is something like it's light and it
Going
can
to the
fly
bathroom. I'll be right back. Sorry.
and it carries children away.
Okay, so basically it's like what, Krampus?
More like a Thunderbird,
Okay.
but really
So
ugly.
I just, I want a Lilith Hesperax like Pokemon. That's what I want.
But if you just read the descriptions, it gets creepier and creepier. Another one is they got a Sword and Shield type Pokemon, and they're like the trapped spirits of fallen warriors.
Okay.
And
Yeah, all
some are
that seems pretty tame compared to what I'm comparing it to.
Don't remember them off the top of my head, but there's a lot where it's these guys just eat kids and they trap kids and they try to hypnotize you and take you to your doom and all.
So are there good Pokemons and bad Pokemons and like what or are they just, is all that just dependent?
I think it's all just there's wild Pokemon and tame Pokemon. So it's they're all wild Pokemon generally initially, until you catch them, and then when you catch them with the Pokeballs and stuff, it does some sort of thing to the technology of the Pokeball. I guess when it traps them, it also kind of rewrites their DNA in some capacity so that it makes them automatically docile towards the owner.
I thought the Pokemon had to choose the trainer or whatever the hell.
No. That's just
that's what they say to make trainers feel better about someone's mind. But here's the thing: is that in the Pokemon universe, humans are actually Pokemon themselves. So you could theoretically use a Pokeball on a human and completely take over, subvert their will.
Say what?
Okay, that's pretty creepy.
Oh, I wonder if there's a cult somewhere where some guy just goes around capturing humans and turning them to his will. That would make an interesting storyline.
So is there an evolution to the human Pokemon, or are we the evolved version of them?
Ooh, maybe we could tackle that in the Science Wizard Comics Nexus Pokemon.
And if so, is there a kaiju evolution of the human Pokemon?
I think
I'm getting out there. I know.
People think that, according to what I remember, I think they think that Ghastlies and Ghost Pokemon are actually just human evolutions. Or that's one of the humans don't die; they just become Pokemon or Pokemon ghosts.
I still want Warhammer Pokemon. Somebody needs to suggest that to whoever the hell does Pokemon and Games Workshop.
Do a crossover.
I feel I kind of want to take all the trainers that we've been doing the commissions of and turn that into an anime, or not an anime, but a one-shot manga. we could touch on that whole human capturing cult of.
Now I have a question. Idea. Besides the fact that play the game and all that shit. What's the point of the Pokemon? What's the point of it?
Of
I
the
mean,
game or the Pokemon in the universe?
They're just
in the universe, what is the point of the Like every time I watched the cartoon, which was like 3 times, I just got like this, like, what was the point? What did I just watch? Why did I watch this? What did this teach me about life and learning? Keep going and win. That's about all I'm hearing.
The anime is pretty much, well, the story that you're fed is generally that basically as when the kids get to about 10 years old, they're given the option to become a Pokemon trainer, which then sends them out to explore the world, capture Pokemon, and then through their
not
mastery,
really.
they become
It's
champion and famous.
not really. It's that when they reach 10 years old, that's like the age of maturity in the Pokemon world. So they're considered an adult at that point.
Again, that's kind of creepy. But yeah.
No. There's like, if you read all the text, there's lots of people that theorize that the Pokemon world just went through this huge war, and the reason why the Pokemon League and all like that exist is because they're trying to create a new society where the Pokemon League kind of acts as a release valve for like anger and all like that, so they don't go to war again, and they're rebuilding the world through that.
Oh, so they prevent war by allowing like essentially dogfighting.
Yeah, and it also is supposed to be like the Pokemon trainers, as they become gym leaders, those gym leaders are also like the rulers of towns. Or something like that. It's been a while.
It's sort of like the old school kung fu movies where you have the one teacher who teaches a certain style, and there's all these other teachers around that teach different styles, and they would sometimes go to try to prove whose style is better, and that's sort of the framework as far as like the battling, goes, because it's always been about honor and showing what you could do, because you're coming from a society like Japan that has technology in abundance now, but was out of technology, didn't have it for so long, even into the more modern world.
Yeah, the story is
feudal stuff.
Warlords who decide who gets to rule the world by dogfighting.
Yeah.
So so how many Pokemon can one trainer own?
All of them, I guess.
Unlimited.
So where does he store all these Pokeballs? I mean,
one of the things that they have in the Pokemon world is they basically are able to like digitally convert the animals into like data and store them. So like they literally have like caches of Pokemon on like hard drives and shit.
Yeah, it actually depends on where you're coming from. Like some sources, I think it says that it's stored in the internet somewhere, but other places it says that they're transported. Like if you watch the anime, all of Ash's Pokemon are taken care of by Professor Oak, so they all get teleported to his place.
Yeah.
So what are the Pokeballs? Are they like a genie bottle, or are they just they convert them into a digital energy field? Well, how the hell does that work?
That's pretty much.
Yeah,
like it's like a digital high tech genie bottle. They can store them in.
Yeah, there's
all right. But so if you're walking around with a bunch of fucking, I swear I saw one of the ones I watched. They had like a net full of, or there a basket full or a satchel full of Pokeballs, and then somehow it got tipped over, and like all the Pokemon got out, and they were running around and shit, and they were trying to get them all back.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Because
I mean, I understand the concept. It's very rudimentary, and it just seemed, for me as a guy who's near his 30s, I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Fair enough. This has got to be one hell of a confusing stream for people who are actually fans of Pokemon. They're probably like any actual fan of Pokemon probably comes into this stream and it's just like, no, you've got it all wrong.
Well, I do remember that, like the redheaded gal, she had a funny looking hair style that she never changed. Nobody ever changed their clothes for some reason. I mean, and then there was a brother and sister, one with a mini skirt with like suspenders
Talking about
and
Rocket
shit.
or something like that. Team Rocket, probably.
And then her brother and they were always fighting with each other after they got defeated.
No, that's Jesse and James, and they're semi-lovers.
Are they? Have they ever?
Yeah, well, sort of. They're part of Team Rocket. They're kind of considered failures, and they're partnered. But it's revealed in one of the episodes that James is actually rich, and he's betrothed to someone called like Jezebel.
Okay.
And she looks exactly like Jessie. And like throughout the whole thing, it's sort of revealed that James actually likes Jessie, and they like each other. So,
well, didn't they have like a cat or some shit cat Pokemon that talked? And then it was like the only Pokemon that I ever saw talk, I think.
Yeah, they have an origin for him too, and how he talked. It's like, it's not that Pokemon can't talk, it's just that they don't give a shit to learn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Pikachu could learn how to talk?
Yeah.
But why do they say the same damn thing over and over and over again?
Because that's their language. Which is somehow understood by other Pokemon.
Well, I mean, think about it, Jimmy. It's like Mork. You know, he only said a few words in his language.
From Mork and Mickey?
Yeah, Mork, and then he'd say Shazbot, and like
Nanu,
there wasn't, Nanu. There wasn't really hardly anything to his language, you know.
Oh, like the Smurfs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still. It's not like Goku or Dragon Ball Z where like there's an actual story that gets somewhere. I don't know. It's just like every time I watched it never got anywhere. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Just another adventure with another fucking Pokemon, and then then they move on to some little thing. And then, like I was trying to figure out the moral of the story half the time. Again, it's very Japanese. And I'm sure that there was a moral, but it was lost at least on this Westerner.
The moral is love.
The moral is
Pokemon,
friendship.
and they'll love you.
The moral is love. So basically, capture something, keep it in a ball, and then they will love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a great moral, in my opinion.
They don't want to be captured.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was.
Did you notice that girl was wearing a mini dress and Crocs? What the fuck, man?
Before there was Crocs.
Look at that mini dress and Crocs, and a windbreaker.
That's how I roll.
She looks like kind of like a screwed up nurse.
There is a nurse though, isn't there? I don't remember her name though.
Joy. It was
and she's got a little this chick has got a little jumper going on.
Man, it's been forever since I watched Pokemon.
The only reason I know anything is because when I was around that time when it was becoming big in America, my nephew and niece loved it, so I always had to watch it with them after they got home from school, and then I took them to see the first like 2 or 3 Pokemon movies, or at least the ones that were released in the US. So
yeah, I actually kind of grew up right around the time where it was actually popular and like on TV. So I actually did catch a good chunk of like the first season back when it was first out. So
see, and like I know this is an anime type of thing, but like the anime I grew up on was like Battle of the Planets and Star Blazers, which both of them are just so much better narratively than what I got out of Pokemon. Like Star Blazers is fucking incredible. Like it's an awesome story.
I've
Yeah.
never actually seen it.
You need
I
it's a
like,
Battleship Yamato is what they call it in Japanese.
I like
Oh,
Ronin Warriors. That was good too.
Yeah,
So
that was
I
good.
grew up with more of the '90s kind of stuff. Ranma 1/2. What was it? Slayers, Trigun, all that stuff.
Yeah, all
And
that stuff was good too.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
But Pokemon to me, it basically it just went the path of least resistance and pandered to young children. And
Mhm.
I just
It-
even
it-
as a
shoot,
kid,
all the pictures I see of you know, when you're talking about interacting with society, it's all adults running around wearing you know, Pokemon cosplay.
yeah, I know adults are
made for
stupid.
kids, consumed by adults.
Yeah, the adults are the one who spend the mega bucks on it. But I suppose like the cards and stuff could be fun. I never understood the game, but I assume it's just
It's just Magic
See,
the Gathering. pretty
Yeah,
much.
I couldn't get into any of that stuff. I never did. Yu-Gi-Oh, none of that.
I've never been big on card games in general. Could never get into them. I
To
tried to get into Overpower. Back when that was the thing, but I never really could. I like the cards. I like to collect them and stuff like that, but could never really get into playing the game. Just couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
to me is like one day all of a sudden there was like all the cartoons that I knew were all gone, and then it was just anime, and I was like, "What the heck is this? Like, what are they talking about? What is the point of this?" You know, like I'm used to like, you know, Brave Star and all those other cartoons. I mean, I'm like, I don't know what any of that is.
Josh, are you just collecting like female Pokemon trainers?
Yes, I am. I am collecting reference for our work with the trainerifications commissions.
You're just getting the ones that have full bodies, I noticed.
Specifically, the ones that are in the sort of like official Pokemon like concept art style. Yeah, I'm not actually going for like just the just the ones that are see like this particular style here, like that style that we're kind of going for. So it's more about style than it is about how much is being shown. But,
Style over substance.
Yeah, style, pose, stuff like that. Like,
If I was going to do all that work that you're doing,
that doesn't do anything.
I just create a game.
What was that?
You're creating all these assets that would be good for like a game. I just create a game.
Yeah.
Not a game that I would play, but yeah, you know.
I could probably figure out how to do that.
I've noticed a lot of these female trainers are kind of a little bit more sexy than that kids would be allowed now under the currents. I mean, like not like this one. This one's more like this is like strawberry shortcake, but I mean, but a lot of these are just like belly ring and a little short skirt and like hot pants and like that, like that right there. Like that's the girl's she's a little that one too.
May and Dawn, they're actually main characters.
Yeah.
So
Delia.
Are you gonna go all the way to Z?
Yeah. I'm gonna gather as much reference as I possibly can, because every little bit helps. Every little bit.
no, just I'll draw them all in the style of James when he was in his bikini. That episode.
The one that was banned in the West.
Who was in his bikini? What?
James, one of the Team Rocket guys, the one with blue hair.
Yeah, the guy in the team of Team Rocket.
Yeah, they had an episode in Japan where where he cross dressed to look like a girl, and like they refused to show that in the West. Like it's like a legitimately like banned episode of Pokemon.
Well, now they demand that you show it and say that it's everyone should emulate that. Wear your
Now
bikini.
it is, yeah.
Young boys, please wear your bikinis out to the playground when you
Or
go
your-
to
Or
elementary
your
school.
princess dress.
Gave him
How the times have changed, eh?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's pretty. Yeah, look at that. Look at that outfit.
It's pretty
Come to
out there.
school. Come
I
to
like-
school in that. People would be like, "Hey, interesting." Go to the principal.
So not just dressing like this cartoon character. It's for kids.
But it's my favorite character. No. Is that? That's too small.
That looks like she's a warrior monk.
Mm-hmm.
That one looks like one of those from doesn't look right at all.
I'm just blasting through these.
Onyx. There's something cooler than an onyx. A glass onyx.
Oh, that must be my girlfriend. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's her. She says nothing cooler than an onyx. That was probably in response to my saying that there's nothing better than the magic carp. And she's of course she's wrong, but she's a cutie. No, she's her favorite's the onyx. She loves geology. So rock types, that definitely is up her alley. Although, if we're going rock types, I think Geodude is so much better.
Everyone has a false impression that onyx is actually strong.
Strong?
Yeah, because most people used fire type as their starter Pokemon, or Pikachu, electric. So when they went to face Brock, it was near impossible to defeat him until you leveled up a whole bunch. But if you used any of the other starter Pokemons, they pretty much decimated him in a single hit.
What?
Thanks to sleep.
Hey, come on, man.
Is that your kid?
Must be. Looks like he had to lay down the law. That's why he's muted himself. Man, there are a lot of characters. God damn, I'm gonna get some.
These are only the females, right? There's males too, probably.
Yes, that is correct. I ordered it by gender, so I'm starting with the females because the grand majority of our customers so far for the Pokefications have indeed been female. So the more of those, the better. Best to start with those.
Gotta love reading that message. The following 200 pages are in this category.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my god! Oh my god! You're right. Holy shit! That's crazy.
Good luck.
Hey, I like the little mustache there. I dig it. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go back to working on my Pokefications. I got some coloring to do before the night is through. So I think I'm gonna shut the stream down here. I don't want to go too long. We've been at it for about what was it, an hour and a half now, almost 2 hours. But don't worry, Cold Piece. You still got 2 weeks if you want to take more time to finish it up. Otherwise, just make sure to DM me your submission, and yeah, I will put that in with the rest of them as a entry for the contest.
All right.
Sounds good?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, chatting, having a good time, and drawing some ugly Beckys. We will be back next Thursday with part 3 of the 4-part anti-cheesecake challenge. All right. Thanks again, guys. And let everybody know where they can find you before we sign off. I know there's only a few people in the chat, but hey, they might
You
want
can
to.
find me at Slick Jimmy Love on Twitter and Slick Jimmy Speaks on the YouTubes. If you want to go buy my book on Indiegogo, that's Little Girl Lethal. It's still in demand. Pick it up. It's not for children, just warn you, but you'll love the art and you'll love the sexy violence.
And you can find me on Twitter and YouTube under the username Dragon. It's DURAKKEN. And that's about it. Don't have anything in the pipeline right now.
All right.
You can find me on Twitter at AY Cold Piece. That's A Cold Piece, AY Cold Piece. You can follow me there. I have a YouTube channel that is A Cold Piece, just the letter A, Cold Piece, no spaces. You can also join me and my friend here, Josh. We have a group called CG Delta. And basically what we do is we promote projects, whether it's Comicsgate, Team Comics, Indie Comics, but just the, like the big and the small within the little community that we have. And we will promote you, we'll promote each other, basically retweeting, making posts, making sure that there's enough eyes on what you're doing so that we can help people get funded. So, and
Just get the word out there.
yeah, just getting the word out there. All you need to do is follow me on Twitter and then DM me about it, and I'll add you to the group if you're interested.
Sounds good. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at MORDENNIGHT. Right now, I'm going by Josh the Amazing Magikarp Trainer to go along with our Pokification shtick. You can also check out Science Wizard Comics merch on the Science Wizard Comics TeePublic store. We've got 8 designs currently, 3 logo pieces, a poster for Journey of the Juan, and 4 of our comic book title T-shirts as well. And not only that, but we've also got Juan Pool, Journey of the Juan, issues 1 and 2, funding right now on Indiegogo. There is only 2 days left. As soon as June comes around, we are shutting this thing down because we got to get moving on to fulfillment so we can get this amazing comic out to all you beautiful backers. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to the people in the chat. And we will see you next week. Take care.